Yeah.
But okay, so this morning we did that in our morning class, and I gave everybody homework to think of examples from your life about each of the desires. So since you guys did not get that for homework, maybe we can do it as classwork. So, because these some of these topics are very important uh, to really ponder upon and give it the importance it needs. Uh, okay. Okay, I won't be able to spotlight and do the Namakar mantra until I. Okay, let's see. या निधि जी आप अपना ऑन रखिएगा वीडियो, नहीं तो हमें पता नहीं चलता आपको पढ़ने के लिए बोलें कि नहीं. नमो अरिहन्ताणं नमो सिद्धाणं नमो आयर्याणं नमो उवज्जायाणं नमो लोये सवसाहुणम्. जय जिनेन्द्र सभी को. We are doing chapter 3 of Moksha Prakashak, which talks about, who is going to tell me what is the chapter about?
All types of miseries.
You're allowed to look in the all
Yeah,
your
all
or
types of
your notes.
miseries as far as I
Hopefully,
remember.
you're writing notes. Not just all types. It's miseries of the mundane existence in
Ah,
the four gatis in everywhere, which we call it sansar, right? What is sansar? Anything other than moksha is sansar. So they went a little more. We, of course, Chedala also tells you miseries of four gatis, but here it goes even further details. So, so whoever have written notes, or if you have not, I would like somebody to talk about what we have studied so far, miseries of each of the gatis. I think it started from Nigod, right?
no, first it started from the karm's point of view, right? So
Do-
based on based on Shayopsham of Darshan Varni and
Right.
Gyan
First,
Varni.
it started, right. Karma, Uday of each karma. That's true. Yes. So, whenever each of the karmas is in fruition, what kind of misery it gives us,
Correct.
right? And who writes notes in class?
I mean, I do write some
Anyone
points,
writes notes?
but not very effective notes. Points I write it down. Like this was the important point.
I would suggest you should try to write notes, and there's a reason for it. This class is 2 hour long. So if we only read and listen to me, it can get quite a little bit boring and sort of monotonous. And time is such that we can fall asleep. So so I would say if you write notes while listening or while reading, I know sometimes I make you guys highlight also, but I think writing notes is a good idea because then you can just look at your notes and review what we did last class.
Right.
Make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Uh, because otherwise, it's like we've gone through reading all this and none of it kind of really sat with you.
Right.
And when I say sat with you, I'm not saying you need to memorize everything, but if it made sense to you, then you'll be able to reproduce, at least some of the points that the book talked about. Because we are not doing this course to just, I mean, this is not history or geography or where we just, go through and remember events or anything like that. We are doing this for our own benefit. So these are whatever, especially Moksha Prakashak is a very, very good granth, very practical, covers essence of lot of other granths. So something for us to think about. Why did they talk about the what miseries you have in the fruition of each of the karmas. What do you think is the purpose?
To understand that in all gatis, in samsara, there is misery, nothing but misery. So we need to realize what that brings the misery. And we need to understand, first of all, understand what level of sorrow, level of misery in each gatis. And then every time in this misery is caused by the mithya.
Right. See, a lot of times we know. Right. When we read details, for example, miseries because of Jnana Varnya ka udaya, right? We cannot understand. We don't get to read the scriptures or, so it gives you a sense that, okay, I want to be aware, soul. I don't want to, well, you're always accumulating these 7 types of karmas, but at least I can help the intensity of it. So at least I don't have very intense karmas where in that udaya how much more miserable I would be. So if they're mild, at least I can overcome them. So for example, you have mild udaya of Jnanavarniya, right? You cannot understand something, or you know how some people can grasp in one hearing in the class and others, it takes a lot more effort, writing notes, going home, studying, again studying, and this is I'm talking about the Lokik, the normal students, right, from college or school. So why does that happen? Each one has their own Jnanavarnika Uday. Some have mild Uday, so they are able to grasp things very quickly. Others, it takes a lot more effort. But that effort also helps reduce the intensity of those karmas. And it helps. A lot of times, when people tell me that, we don't come to Swadhyay. And you would find a lot of people will say, oh, hamare to sir ke upar se jata hai. So, we can just tell us to do puja, but we cannot come to Swadhyay. So, I tell those people that yes, puja is also important part of religion, but Swadhyay will also help you break that cycle of the karma, uday, and all that. So, if you keep trying, the Jnana Varnyaka uday becomes milder and then helps you understand and become a more aware soul. So same way we studied about Monia. Monia, of course, is a very big one, which causes a lot of the miseries. And then Nam and all those things we studied, right? Now, Gati, some things we knew in each of the Gatis, what kind of miseries there are. Some we did not know. So, for example, is a small baby miserable?
Yeah. Yeah,
What
because
do you think, Nidiji?
Yes, ma'am. It's helpless. It depends on others for everything, from food to movement to security to the discomfort you caused due to cold, heat, etc. It is it feels completely helpless. So it must be miserable.
But see, most people in general, you will hear people say, oh, little child, he's carefree, he doesn't have to any stresses, he's taken care of, the babies are the most happy people. So how our even understanding is so deluded. In reality, that is not true. The babies feel very helpless when they cannot communicate that they're hungry or not clean, or whether they're feeling cold or hot. So a lot of the things we learned in these chargati, then we learned that we always have shubh and ashubh, right? Bhav. In Nigod also, due to some shubh bhav, we get to get an opportunity to come out of the Nigodh into the Ekendriya Paryapt, which is so rare. They compared that with a popping of a corn. Like which kernel will get the opportunity is just a random chance. And it's the same way for coming out of Nigodh. And for us who have come out once, what is that called? There's two types of Nigodhs.
Nitya Nigodh, Itar
Eternal
Nigodh,
Nigodh
Nigodh.
and
What's the second one?
Itar Nigodh, Nitya Nigodh.
Nitya Nigodh, right? So we all were in Nitya Nigodh at some point, and we came out of it, but there is no stopping us from going back to Nigodh.
correct.
At which point then we are Itar Nigodh. It is very similar to Nitya Nigodh. It's just that all it means is you've already been out at least once. So now you've been in the cycle of going through the gatis. Then they talked about how, there are limited human lives. Even though sometimes they are wasted if you get born as a samurchim human or a paryapt human, where the baby comes into the womb and is aborted, or you are not developed all the senses. So we have all that, which is so rare, and find the importance of, and what the whole point is, they're trying to make you aware and how to not be bothered with these gatis. The only way that would happen is when we associate ourselves with the soul. Even though whatever is going through our life, even if we were in hell, whatever is going through it, we can still be detached from it. I keep getting this pop-up, my internet connection is unstable. So if you have too much problem kind of hearing or distract, then let me know and I'll have to change my position. Okay.
It
So
breaks
then
in.
we talked about 4 types of desire. It breaks. Okay, I'll try to move a little bit. So can somebody name the 4 types of desires, and everybody think of their own examples and talk about it.
Vishaya Ichcha, Kashaya Ichcha,
Mhm.
and Papa Ichcha and Punya Ichcha.
Pap and Punya, correct.
पुण्य के फल की इच्छा.
Yeah, Punya ke pal ki ichcha. Yeah.
And पापोदय में क्या होता है? You think of bad of others. Let's quickly go over those.
First
Which
is
page
like
was that?
Vishaya Ichcha would be object of senses, right? So again, watching a movie, listening to music, scrolling on your phone, right? Those are nothing but objects of senses for us.
Exactly.
Right. Then the next one is Kasha Ichcha. Right. Again, earning wealth, right? Getting a new car, getting an updated car.
It's all like
Right.
passions like Krodhamana,
All the passions.
activities based on the anger, ego, deceit, greed. So this is unsatisfactory
So those passions, have you ever thought that we desire
desire.
being angry or being?
Yeah,
But we do.
it's a
Think about
default one. It has become a default desire.
Yeah, but we never kind of think about it that way, right?
Correct.
So we automatically have the lobe kashai,
Right.
right? We are always then mayachari. Everybody wants to show the good side of themselves. And let's see here. Trying to find the page. Where was that desire?
96. 96.
On that one. General characteristics of misery. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, there are 4 kinds of desires.
That's right. That's right. So now this is strange. Like desire of indulging in harming others or humiliating others. Can you guys think of examples that you may have ever done that?
Harming or humiliating others.
Mhm.
Mm, yeah,
As
harming
I see,
others, right? Eating root vegetables, right? We know that
No,
it
no, no,
harms
no. You don't. Well, not. I guess. I don't know if
others. Is
that
that
is.
as I see it, it is acting on impulses. Like if you feel angered, you kind of start being angry. That's like giving in to the impulses.
Yeah, let's say
And
husband wife is fighting. And yeah, you don't think, or brother sister fighting, brother siblings fighting. They really mean to hurt each other at times
the emotion arises, and
or
we just
humiliate each other. Right, right. And usually it happens with the closest, right?
mm,
I mean, there are, of course, examples where some people will humiliate or show down of their colleagues at work and things like that too. But unknowingly or knowingly, it happens more frequently with either siblings or spouses, the ones that you spend the most time with. So then the third type is removing the harmful causes. So now you have Papka Uday, you have some unfavorable circumstance. It doesn't have to be only body related, it can be anything. It can be a loss of money, it can be whatever. So you are so busy then getting rid of that kind of Uday. You forget that no, this is my karmic uday right now. So no, like much, I would rather let it pass than to continuously make effort of getting rid of it. Because sometimes in that effort, you also end up doing wrong things. Now, the fourth one was desires produced due to some external cause because of which one desire to act according to above 3 types of desire. In these 3 types of desires, each type of desire has many varieties. The causes of satisfaction of many varieties of desires are met. So what happens is due to some punya karma, let's say somebody has a good lot of good karma that is coming to fruition. So they have pretty much everything they desire comes, they get it for the most part. So what do they think? They take that for granted that, hey, everything I want, I should get. So they get, and then they desire for more. And then, have you heard people say, so let's say everything is going right with their family. Family is expanding, money is good, and what do they pray to God? Oh God, let it all just stay the way it is now. Don't disturb it. Right? So desire of keeping things the way they are, if they're positive. And then so what then at the end they're trying to say is whatever we think is happiness is actually not happiness. Because if we were content, we would not wish for other things. Whereas what we do is one thing we get, we are wishing for next. Even though we are getting them in the Punyodaya. But it really doesn't make us happy. The fact that we then continue on to wanting something else means that we are still miserable in spite of having those one or two things that we desired and we got. So that desire thing is something very important to keep in mind, and how to be I mean, it all obviously falls in place that your desires reduce, your desires intensity reduces, and even if you desire and you don't get it, your disturbances will reduce. So okay, so now they're saying, okay, so once all that, if you don't want the miseries of all the four gatis, then what do you do? So then they talk about this bliss of liberation and means of attainment. So how do you go about bliss? So let's read that. I would say, rather than wait till the end, right in the beginning, I've always told everybody to write good notes in class, or once the chapter is, we're probably going to finish this today, immediately write like a short paragraph or two about what things that you remember. Okay. So, Bahubaliji, you want to start reading The Bliss of?
Yes.
Everybody has the book, right? We don't need to share that. Okay, good.
Yeah, I have it.
Okay. I'm going to, so no need to share, correct?
Dinesh Murarji, are you? Yeah.
Okay.
I know Dinesh Burarji is usually either at work or driving. So I'm just
Yeah,
curious
no,
if
I'll be
you
on.
permission to read. Okay. no
Sorry, I'll
problem.
be on in like half an hour, but until then, I'm listening.
Okay. So
No worries. No problem. Okay.
bliss of
Thank
bliss of liberation and the means of its attainment. Now those jivas who want to get rid of misery should make effort to root out desire, and the desire gets rooted out only then when wrong faith, wrong knowledge, and wrong conduct, incontinence, are destroyed and the right faith, right knowledge, and the right conduct are attained. It is therefore worthwhile to make effort for achieving this only. By making such effort, the misery gets destroyed in the same measure in which the desire gets rooted out. And when, due to total extermination of moha, delusion, all desires are destroyed, then all sorts of miseries get destroyed, and real bliss is evolved. And when Jnana Varna, Darshana Varna, and Antaraya karmas are destroyed, then the desire causing Kshayopshamik, Jnana, Darshan, and Virya also comes to an end, and the infinite knowledge, perception, and the energy are attained. And after lapse of some time, the agati karmas are also get destroyed. Then the external causes of desire also get destroyed, because after eradication of moha, delusion, these agati karmas are not capable of producing any desire at any time. These become causes only in existence of moha. Therefore, these agati karmas are said to be causes. On their destruction, the jiva attains siddhahood, liberated state of the soul. There being the total absence of sorrow and causes of sorrow, the emancipated souls always remain situated in the state of fearless, irrevocable supreme bliss, beatitude for infinite time. The same is being explained. So absence of miseries in liberated state. In the state of Kshayokshama and Udaya, rise up Jnana Varna and Darshana Varna karmas, being overpowered by moha, deluding karma, and due to the desire of seeing and knowing each and every item, this jiva used to remain extremely perturbed. Now, in Siddha state, due to absence for moha, the desire also ends. Consequently, misery also ends, and due to kashaya, destruction of jnana varna, and darshana varna karmas, all objects of all senses are being known together. Hence, the cause of misery is also removed. For example, one wanted to see every object one after the other through eyes. Now he sees all color, soft, the whole universe, and of all times, past, present, and future, simultaneously. None remain unseen, for which the desire of seeing may rise. Similarly, he, mundane being, wanted to know every object one by one through the touch and other senses. Now he, Siddha, knows all sorts of touch, taste, odor, and words of the whole universe and of all times, present, past, and future simultaneously. Nothing remains attained for which the desire of attaining may arise. Question: how would it be feasible to know without the body, etc.? Answer: in the presence of sensory knowledge, one was not able to know the objects without physical sense, etc. Now, such characteristics got manifested that even without physical senses, knowing of objects takes place. Question: in Siddha state, knowing would be taking place in the same manner as the mundane beings know the touch, etc., through mind, and would not be in the manner in which the mundane beings know through touch and tongue, etc.? Answer: it is not so. Because on remembering, etc., through mind, one knows a little indistinctly. As in mundane state, one knows clearly the touch, taste, etc. Through the sense of touch, tongue, etc., by touching, taking, taste, smelling, seeing, and hearing, even infinite times more clear than that is known here in Siddha state. The difference is only this much, that there in mundane state, one is to know on getting contact between senses and the objects, whereas here in Siddha state, similar knowing takes place in spite of objects remaining far off. This is the excellence of the power of knowledge. Further, he, the mundane rational being, wanted to know some objects of past, future, and unmanifested through the mind. Now in Siddha state, he knows the substance, place, time, dispositions, traits of all kinds of substances simultaneously from beginningless to endless period. Nothing remains unknown for which the desire of knowing may arise. In this way, one should know the absence of misery and its causes in the Siddha state. Further, in mundane state, owing to the rise of moha, deluding karma, perverse belief, and the passion dispositions used to arise, all those got totally destroyed in Siddha state. Consequently, the misery also ended, and because the causes of misery have also got destroyed, the absence of, because that's the reason. The absence of those causes is being explained here. On having realized, known the true nature of all the...
So they're going one by one detail.
Yeah.
So basically, so what they're doing is that, okay, this happens sometimes. Let's say somebody wants to go see this, see that, see this country, see that country. What do we say? One is there's nothing you have not touched over the so many lives that you have gone through, right? And if you really desire to see so much, then attain that Kevali state. It will be all there. You won't have to do any effort for it.
Yeah.
So,
and in the mundane, even if you see also, you will be in misery too, still. But in Siddha state, you will know everything and no misery.
Yeah, but you will not have the rag, right? No attachment of seeing it, right? So
no misery, right?
Desire of seeing it, right? What's the point?
I know that is one argument. A lot of people think, oh, when I really wanted the laddu, that's when I wanted it. Now I don't want it, so why do I care?
No, but there is a bliss also there. It's also infinite bliss is there. That part we do not
understand is right. That plus what people don't understand is that when I wanted that laddu, how miserable I was.
Yeah.
Until I got it. And then I got it and immediately another desire arose. So that's why they're going through so much in detail in these books. I mean, it's not like sometimes it feels like, didn't we understand in those 2 sentences? We really don't understand. That's why they go through all this logic, by explaining so much.
So when they say like, oh, Siddha does not have any interest in anything,
And
yes,
and
yes,
that's one lot
because
of
yeah, yeah, because
yeah, I mean it's
also
like they
yeah,
say कि
yeah,
जिसके सारे काम पूरे हो गए.
yeah, and is in a blissful state here.
And that is the reason why there is no reason left for them to come back to sansar.
Yeah,
See, otherwise people are like, I remember in the beginning when you hear that, oh, once you go to moksha, there's no coming back. And people, oh my God, what if I go there and I don't like it, I get bored. So,
yeah.
and there's no return. So, uh,
See,
and
our
that is
point of
why it
view
is
is
so
so
important to
limited, correct?
understand in this. Exactly. And that is why it's so important to understand this logically and step by step. So we understand it's not like it's a punishment that you cannot come back. You wouldn't want to come back because there is no misery left. So there is no reason for you to come back. And what people don't understand is that it's that bliss feeling, it's that happy feeling that everybody is running after, and which exists all the time there.
Yeah.
So there is no reason to come back. So, okay, continue.
Okay. So this
On having realized, known the true nature of the substance.
yeah, so it talks about the causes, how the causes are absence of these causes being explained here in Siddha. So the causes are not there. So, on having realized,
No cause for them to be miserable. No.
on having realized, known the true nature of all.
Go ahead. On having.
How can there remain the perverse belief of the form of disbelief in tattvas? Nothing remained harmful. The censurer himself gets harmed. On whom should he, Siddha, become angry? None is higher than Siddhas. The Lord Indra, etc., themselves bow to them and achieve the desired object. With whom should he feel exalted? All destiny is known, nothing is left undone, no purpose remains with any object. In which thing should he have greed? No other agreeable thing remains unattained. Due to what reason should he indulge in laughter? No other agreeable object remain worth loving. Where should he have liking? No distress causing.
So do you see what they're doing? Each karma they are trying to say.
Yeah.
So their point. So think about it. Nothing remains harmful. So they're going through each of the karmas listing. So first one is nothing remain harmful. Second is none is higher, the grotra karma. Then they are saying nothing is left undone.
That is
So number 3, I'm just numbering them so you guys can do that. Right. So that is no antaray. No other agreeable thing remains unattained. Due to what reason should he indulge in laughter?
Yeah, that is that.
So that is number 4.
I think that is laughter is the charitra monia karma.
Correct.
Kind of like, yeah, there is no charitra monia.
Right. Charitra.
Yeah.
Because your kashais are in active when you have charitra monia kauday.
Yeah.
No other agreeable object is worth. Where should he have liking?
This is monia karma.
No distress.
No.
Yeah. Darshanam faith,
That
like
is monia.
delusion.
Yeah, no more.
Yeah. So delusion.
Exactly. Yes. Then no distress. Exactly. Then you guys can write all this in your either in your book or write it in your notes that how they're listed each of these.
No distress
There's
causing.
no distress causing external.
No, I think
This is no
Where
karma.
should he
this one
have
is
No
darshan
karma.
monia. This one is darshan monia.
No, this is no karma, right?
No, the
External
previous
association.
one might be the passions. Like the previous to that was the no kashaya, and then kashaya, and then darshan monia. Like it's association, correct? There is association is wrong
So
faith.
there's no right. Now, no favorable, disfavorable. That is Vedaniya,
Yeah.
Correct.
right?
Yes.
Sata
Yes.
Vedaniya creates favorable circumstances, Asata creates Why should he feel lamentation about anything?
Yeah, that's
No cause creating harm remains. Why should he have fear?
yeah, that's a part of the earlier statement only. No
Yeah, I
favorable,
think it's
disfavorable.
us.
Why should he feel lamentation about anything?
Right.
All things are cognized by him with the
All
inner.
things are cognized by him. So
Yeah, like there is Ananta
no
Jnana.
Darshana Varniya Karams.
Yeah,
Right. Ananta Darshan.
Ananta Darshan.
Correct.
Then, right? Due
Nothing is
to, okay,
disagreeable to
nothing is
him.
disagreeable to him. Where should he have discussed? What was the karma about disgust?
Discuss is
Due to absence of
So that is
which
Charitra
remains
Moni.
woman or
Charitra
a
Moni.
man.
yeah.
What,
Charitra Moni, right? Disgust.
Yeah, that's Bhaya Shoka Jigupse.
yeah,
Jigupse
they
is
are
no Kashaya.
not right. Jigupsa. Oh, yeah, yeah. Sorry. These are all they are talking about Kashai, different no
Different Kashaya.
Kashais. You will not have any of those.
Yeah, I said due to absence of sexual.
Yeah.
That is Triveda Purushodana.
So they're talking about Purush Ved, Napusangati will not be there. There will be no
Yeah.
fear. There won't be any disgust. All
Yeah.
of that. And they're logically explaining why none of those no Kashai or Kashai
Yeah,
will
exactly.
exist.
Yeah. So further, because of feeble power due to rise of Antaraya, the obstructing karma, the soul's energy was not manifested fully. Now it is destroyed. Okay. So the misery also got destroyed, and infinite energy of soul is manifested. Hence, the cause of misery also disappeared. Okay.
So opposite of Andrai is who has that
Full
written
energy,
down? What is opposite
Ananta
of
Virya.
Andrai karma?
Yeah, Anantavirya.
It's
Yeah,
like infinite
Ananta
energy to
Virya,
be in
right.
that state.
Exactly.
Correct.
Right, Anantavirya, because nothing is stopping. They call
Yeah.
it unstoppable energy.
Yep.
I there's some little camp where they claim they teach you unstoppable energy. But actually, this is the unstoppable energy, right? There's nothing stopping you from
Yeah.
knowing and whatever. Okay.
The
Then
question.
the Siddha gods.
Siddha gods do not perform the acts of charity, benefit, enjoyment, re-enjoyment. How has their power got manifested? So these acts were the treatment of the disease. When there is no disease, why should one take treatment? Hence, there is no existence of these acts and the karmas
The
of
thing is, you have to fix something when it's broken. Nothing is broken. So what is there to fix? So if you have to take pills because you have a disease.
Yeah.
If you don't have a disease, so there's no reason to find any cure.
Correct. Hence, there is no existence of these acts, and the karma obstructing these acts got destroyed. That is why the power is said to have got manifested. For example, someone wanted to go somewhere, some other person obstructed him, then he was unhappy, and when the obstruction is removed, then the purpose for which he wanted to go is now no more. Therefore, he did not go. There, even without his going, the power of going is said to be manifested. Similarly, one should know here also. Further, they are found possessing infinite energy in the form of infinite knowledge, etc. Okay. So further on getting the
So
rise
just to relate how the power still.
please go ahead.
No, let's understand how this is called the power is always there. So, for example, let's say you have $1 million in the bank, right? You're not spending every day, but that sense that you are able to afford that is there. You
Yeah.
may not have the desire, you may not be spending, that labdhi is there, that power is there. So, same way, in Siddha state, all the powers of being able to know, being able to go is there, but they just don't desire it.
No, it talks about manifestation. Since power is there and also there is no obstruction, so power is manifested.
Right,
Correct.
right. The complete power is there. That's
Yeah.
what they're saying.
Further, on getting the rise of inauspicious prakritis of agati karmas, non-destructive karmas, he, the mundane being, was feeling distrust, and on getting the rise of auspicious punya prakritis, was feeling happiness, but in spiritual sense, due to perturbation, all that was anguish only. Now in Siddha state, due to destruction of moha, deluding karma, on getting all sorts of perturbation rooted out, the anguish of all kinds is destroyed, and the causes by which he was feeling distrust got destroyed. And due to certain reasons, because of some lessening in misery, he was feeling happiness. Now the misery is rooted out. Therefore, there remains no necessity of the means of treatment of misery by which he, the Siddha God, may like to accomplish the purpose. Its accomplishment is taking place on its own. The details of the same are explained here. In Vedani,
So now the
yeah.
powers are also not there. Yeah.
In Vedaniya, due to rise up asatya, the disease.
Asada.
Asada.
Oh, sorry.
Asada. Not asada.
In Vedaniya, the rise up, it says asatya, it should be asata.
Yeah, it is asata.
It is written Asata.
Satya.
Your eyes are adding that Y in there.
Okay. Oh, no, it is Y is there.
Oh, is that
No.
right? We are looking at the book. So
Oh, okay, okay.
It is
In
not
the
there.
PDF, it is Y is
in
there.
PDF, the Y
Oh,
is
then
there.
that's a mistake.
Okay.
In Vedaniya, due to rise of asata, the disease, hunger, diseases, hunger, etc., used to evolve in the body as cause of anguish. Now in Siddha state, since there is no corporal body, where would these generate? Moreover, the fever, etc., were the causes of harmful state of the body. But now in Siddha state, without body, there would be, where would the causes remain? And in the mundane life, it's parenthesis or something. The external harmful instrumental causes were associated, but now nothing disagreeable remains for them. In this way, in Siddhahood, the cause of misery have ended. And due to rise of Sata, the medicines, food, etc., were the cause of mitigating somewhat misery. Now in Siddha state, their purpose does not remain, and the agreeable purposes are not dependent on anything. Therefore, externally, also there remains no purpose of considering friends, etc., to be beneficial. In the mundane state, he wanted to end misery by means of them and wanted to obtain agreeable state. Now in the Siddha state, all misery has ended and everything agreeable has been obtained. And in the mundane state, birth and death were caused due to Ayu karma. Therefore, one used to feel anguish due to death, but now he has attained an immortal state. Hence, there remains no cause of anguish. Further, by holding the material vitality, he used to feel happiness in mundane state for quite a long period by keeping alive and dying. There also, in the hellish life, due to intensity of agonies, he did not want to survive, but now in the Siddha state, he keeps alive for keeps alive forever by his sentient vitality, even without having material vitalities, and there remains even so trace of anguish. Further, in mundane existence,
So now you understand they're talking about prana.
yeah,
There's no prana in Siddha state.
yeah,
Until Arihant state, you have the 10 pranas.
yeah,
Now, once they are liberated, no need for prana. The soul alone itself is enough to hold itself.
yeah. Further, in mundane existence, due to nama karma, on association of inauspicious gati, condition of existence, and jati, genus, etc., he used to feel anguish. But now in Siddha state, all those have ended, wherefrom now anguish arise. And on association of auspicious gati, jati, etc., by reduction of some misery, he used to feel happy. But now in Siddha state, even without all those, all miseries have ended and absolute happiness has been manifested. Therefore, no purpose remain with them. And on getting birth in low status family due to instrumental cause of Gotra karma, he used to feel misery. Now in Siddha state, owing to its absence, there remains no cause of misery. And on getting birth in a high status family, he used to feel happiness. But now in Siddha state, even without having the high status family, he has attained the highest status worshipable by three worlds. In this way, in Siddha gods, due to destruction, setting off all kinds of karmas, all miseries have ended. The characteristics of misery is perturbation, and perturbation is caused only when desire arises. But now in Siddha state, the desire and the causes of desire have totally ended. Therefore, by becoming social, one experiences infinite bliss, devoid of all miseries.
What is this stoical? That's a
Stoical.
Oh,
different
sorry.
word.
Yeah, this. Okay, T is missing here in PDF. By becoming trical, one
Stoical.
experience.
No, Stoical, right, Bauri?
In PDF, it's
Yeah,
SOCIA.
they're missing the T there.
Yeah.
Oh, stoical. Okay.
Because non-perturbation only is the characteristics of bliss. In the world also, everyone believes happiness by somehow becoming unperturbed. I think perturbation is disturbance, correct? It's actual synonym. Okay.
It's synonymous of disturbance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why should not one believe full happiness to arise when one becomes
Stoical
totally...
basically means no emotions, because there is no like rag dvesh, so there is no anger, no emotions in that.
Yeah. Thus, on attaining Siddhahood by means of right belief, etc., all kinds of miseries end and infinite bliss manifests. Now, here the sermon given, O Bhavya, O brother, think yourself as to the worldly miseries described here are experienced by you or not. And whatever means you adopt to remove them are false or not. And also ponder over whether happiness is caused or not on attaining Siddhahood. If you believe in whatever is stated above, then adopt those measures which we have struggled for getting release from mundane existence and obtaining Siddhahood. Don't delay. By adopting these measures, you will achieve self-benefaction. Thus ends the third chapter describing the miseries of mundane existence and bliss of liberation in this Moksha Marga Prakashaka named Shastra.
So you see, this chapter is supposed to uplift you, to see the way out and understand logically why it makes a lot of sense. Because a lot of people, you know what, they will think they're religious. They will say, even because they hear from others, that I want to go to moksha. But they really are not convinced. So by reading this, you should really know that this is the right thing for you. Not just because gurus say it, or not just because everybody else says moksha is happiness, so I want to do that. Okay. And that 4 types of desires is very important topic. They always will ask you questions. And by the way, how were the exams? Everybody done with the third paper?
I'm yet to do the third one, but yeah, I'll do this
I'm
weekend.
done with all 3.
With all of them. Okay, good, good. Are you done, Nidhi?
Yes, ma'am. All done.
All done. Good, good, good. And I know Dinesh ji is
I have
not.
not done. I have not done yet.
Dinesh ji has not taken. Okay, only the third one or also the first 2?
No, I'll do all 3 at the same time.
Oh, same time. Wow, that's okay. It's fine even if you actually Dinesh ji, I you can try. Maybe you can learn from Amit ji. There's a way to quickly summarize the YouTube video of 1 hour. One of my students in the morning class does that. She will sometimes summarize it into 2 pages, and
Okay.
that will get the gist of each of the.
Wow. Okay. 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 I'll connect with
I
Amiji
tell
and
you,
see what I can do.
some nowadays is that. So, oh my God, I'm amazed how much is out there. And once people are into it, they'll find all ways of doing this. My morning students, they are so creative. My God. I'll tell you a little poem that this one student sent.
In this class, only Nidhi ji is the morning student.
Yeah. So,
Hey, Arunji is here.
is Arunji is finally here. Okay. So this one student, he has very challenging situations at home. Like his mom doesn't want him to do this course, and his mom doesn't want to like it. Poor guy, I feel sorry for him, but at the same time, it's amazing how much interest he has.
Sir, mom is the Antarayakaram.
So I know that's what like he keeps in calling me, and he's like, what should I do? I'm like, he probably cannot help it either. Like poor lady, she has her own uday going on. And so he wrote this thing for Purnima. Jab, oh, just 1 second. Okay. So I'll read to you. He always writes, I guess, whatever he learns in class, he has this talent of being able to put it in the form of poetry. Or sometimes he will also write like little art things too. So, Purnima, well, he's obviously tried to put my name into it. But जब दिव्य प्रभा निज में है जगे तब परम सत्य ही राह दिखे जब ज्ञान प्रभा भीतर में जगे तब जीवन में सुख शांति रहे अब मुक्ति राह प्रभा से हुई जो सच्चे गुरु के साथ मिली. And so it kind of rhymes, but then at the same time, I think he understands the gist of things and appropriately writes. I mean, of course, sometimes the poems kind of they don't rhyme well, or sometimes grammatical errors are there, which I correct for him whenever he sends them to me. But well, and then he'll find sometimes he has sent an Instagram, even though it's about Gita, but it's similar to what we are learning. So you kind of find those things too.
तो प्रभा जी, गुरु पूर्णिमा के अवसर पे आपको भी बहुत बहुत प्रणाम हम सबकी तरफ से.
प्रणाम तो देखो तीर्थंकर भगवंतों को करना है, उनसे हमें मिला है ज्ञान, हम तो सिर्फ उनको मैसेंजर कॉपी पेस्ट वटेवर बोल दीजिए कुछ हमारे।
प्रणाम है ज्ञानदाता को भी।
हम तो बहुत ही बहुत बहुत छोटे छोटे से निमित्त हैं,
हमारे लिए तो
बाकी
काफी
सब
बड़े निमित्त।
एफर्ट आप लोगों का ही
ये तो
है।
काफी बड़ा निमित्त है आप।
हमारे लिए तो बड़ी निमित्त है।
आई जस्ट फील कि देखो समवसरण नहीं होता, भगवान ने कभी ये डिजायर, वैसे सोचो तो वो भी डिजायर थी एट वन टाइम, राइट? कि हम जो ज्ञान मिला हम सबको दे दें, और भगवान ने तीर्थंकर नाम कर्म बांध लिया। येट व्हेन ही डिजायर नहीं था कि किसी को दे दूं। सो वी हैव टू बी थैंकफुल कि वो हमें मिला है भगवान की वाणी में से। सो and one thing I said this morning also, कि देखो आत्मा की बात, आत्मा के कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स तो समझ लो सभी धर्मों में आ जाते हैं। इवन Hinduism of course talks about, Gita talks about, soul cannot be burnt, soul can whatever, all those things that sometimes Dinesh used to point out and all. फिर even Muslims say Khuda. Who is Khuda? Khud, you yourself. Uh, Christians say spirit lives on. So they also believe there is some energy, something that goes on, whether you call it consciousness, energy, whatever, right? So they all have that concept. What is special about Jainism is they have put it in the books with a lot of logic in it, which makes it convincing. See, in other religions, you hear it और blind faith या तो करो, और या फिर you hear it and you may say yes, yes, but really doesn't become yours. Really, you don't believe in it. Here it goes through all the detailed logic of what and why about it.
Yeah, but if you see, Prabhaji, most of the other religions,
Were you
like
trying to say
Hinduism,
something?
yeah, like Hinduism has been first the conduct
Uh-huh.
had started, right? The actual practices, right? The ritual started. Then somebody wrote a philosophy to support that. Jainism is the other way around. The philosophy is written first, and then all the rituals and everything, right? Then got written, right? Like from Tirthankar's Samavsaran, right? The entire philosophy is understood, right? That the tattva, the true nature of substances is understood. So
Well, so think uh, I don't think rituals came in the Jinvani, in the Divya Dhwani.
no, not in this.
Divya
That's what
Dhwani
I'm
में
saying.
तो
First,
वस्तु स्वरूप आया,
correct. First philosophy came, then
right?
rituals came. But
Exactly.
Hinduism is the other way around. First rituals came and then philosophy came.
That I don't know. How do we say that?
Yeah, because
I
see how
don't
it
know if that is the
आई थिंक
case.
अमित
no
जी
no
का
that
कहना ये है कि
Uh,
निश्चय पहले आया, व्यवहार बाद में आया।
हाँ वो तरीके से करेक्ट राइट बट हिंदुइज्म में आप अगर सबसे
हाँ
पुराना
वो भी
देखो तो
सोचो, पर आई डोंट नो इवन हिंदुइज्म में भी।
नहीं नहीं आप देखो तो पहले यज्ञ करते थे वो लोग राइट तो यज्ञ पहले
आई एम नॉट
अग्नि
श्योर।
देवता फिर समुद्र देवता वो
No,
लोग
no.
जो
They see like in the different Vedas, they have different sections. They're all there together.
no, no, Vedas
No,
still come later on. The basic
no,
the
no,
the
no.
the Hinduism when it started was the like every specific region or something started worshipping their own gods by the problems that they faced. So if they started agriculture, they did not get water enough, right? Then they would start.
No, no, they in
वो सब तो
Yajurveda,
सब कंट्रीज में
Vedas,
हुआ है, इवन
Samveda,
ग्रीक गॉड्स आर लाइक
there.
दैट।
It's all there.
आई थिंक व्हाट
Yeah,
अमित
see
जी
that
सेइंग
is
इज
the
करेक्ट।
philosophy there. I think I have See, I've heard even Hinduism ka when we go to Shantiniketan, somebody had a lot of knowledge. So they went over unke kitne hundreds of Vedas hai, the main categories being four, I think. Rig Veda, Sam
Yeah.
Veda, and whatever those four
Yeah.
names are, and then
Atharvana.
subdivisions of it.
Yajurveda,
So they
Atharvana.
do also have a lot of literature,
No, but
the other Yajurveda, Atharva Veda, and all that. But the practices as we see them, whether it is in Hinduism, whether it is in Greek, whether it is in Chinese philosophy, all the practice, lot of these practices are due to fear, due to what do you call that?
Fear of the unknown.
Insecurities of mankind.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Even Vivekananda said that, like the origin of
You see,
religion.
it's not just in Hinduism. Yeah.
The
And so that
one
is why they defined religion. I mean, these different people can.
one difference
So
I
religion is the rituals.
so the one distinct difference
There must be lag in me talking.
yeah. Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead, Babluji.
Yeah. So the one distinct difference, the absolute difference that is so different from, I mean, Jainism versus any other religion is in all the religion, as you said, Prabhaji, there is a soul they talk about and all the things. The soul in Hindu, Muslim, Islam go to the heaven, is the Christian go to heaven. They're all under the guidance of, even after attaining salvation, they will be still under that power, energy, that God, correct? And here, they're all independently. They're nothing under anybody's control here. That's so the Siddhahood, the soul is always there forever, infinite with infinite energy and no restriction, nothing, correct? So that's the main thing. They're corporate world there. Even the salvation also corporate world. So here it is nothing. It is all other than the Advaita. Advaita, there is no soul and non-soul. Non-soul can, yeah.
No, Advaita
See, Advaita is one
is more like
unmanifested. It can
us.
manifest and
They are giving
unmanifest.
importance.
Yeah. There is no fixed number of souls.
But Advaita is more close to what we talk about.
No, Advaita, we are not talking Advaita.
Right. So there's a lot of.
But each soul in ours is, you can say it as Advaita, but in Advaita, there is this, every like 10,000 Sagar Varsha or something, Sagar Varsha, it can manifest again. Whatever the soul, it will not come back as soul, it can come back as matter. So there, because it's one unmanifested thing, but in Jainism, not like that, correct? There are fixed number of souls are there. They're there forever.
Yeah.
I think another thing is
This is what
the
I
concept
mean.
of universe
So
is
in other
explained very well in
religions.
Jainism.
That I think is similar in Hinduism too. You know, Sanjeev Ji Godha, his PhD was on Jain geography. And I remember when he visited us, he was looking for Hinduism references of the geography. And I think later on, when I spoke to him, he said there also is very similar in that sense. So they also have the Urdu Lok, Adho Lok, Madhya Lok,
That is there.
and all these things.
Buddhism, all Eastern philosophy follow the same, like the cosmology, but the soul comes, Buddhism says like nothingness. Okay, Hinduism is like Advaita is there, there's one consciousness,
Right.
it manifested many and go back one, correct? There again the division of Advaita, Vishishta Advaita, and again there is a sixth school of thoughts came. But in Jainism, yeah, there are three worlds are there, but there is a fixed number of soul, fixed number of matter, and these are there. It never changes, no matter what. And when it attains Siddhahood, that's it. It will be with infinite.
And that
and all
much
Siddhas are
concrete knowledge
absolute.
is not there.
Yeah.
We were in New Jersey, and somebody's son who had studied different religions or philosophy came to understand Jainism from us. So we told them one of the major differences how Jainism is unique is, number one, a lot of the philosophies have this concept of one God, one controlling God. either everybody merges into that one God, or which Jainism is the only religion which will say each soul has the potential of being the perfect soul, which is the God. So the Godhood itself, the definition is different in Jainism.
Yeah.
So I remember one time in our newsletter, my husband wrote an article, and the title was Godhood in Jainism.
Mm.
And obviously he explained what we know is each soul is capable of becoming Bhagwan. And because the majority, if, of course, Indians majority are Hindus, whoever was in charge at the time got really upset. He's like, "Tum to apne aap ko Bhagwan bol rahe ho." Like, that
Yeah.
is what it is.
Yeah, that
So they
traditional
don't
concept of
have that
God doesn't
concept.
exist in
They
Jainism.
think somebody has to think about.
See,
Exactly.
yeah, like God in
So,
Jainism is the purity with no attachment and bliss all the time. So in God in other terms is it has to take sides. It has to help or unhelp. It has to take sides and do some favor,
exactly.
punish somebody. Correct? That's what except this minority, everybody else is like that. So that's what they cannot agree with that. That's what they call Jainism, Buddhism as a Nastik dharma. Whoever does not agree with the Vedas, they call Nastik. Okay. So Nastik is like unbeliever. No, we do believe.
No, that is the definition of atheist. Atheist or Gnostic just means that you don't believe in a controlling entity. We don't believe our God is controlling. Our God can do anything for us. All the other religions believe that their God is the controlling entity who decides aapka punya paap ka kya phal hoga.
Yeah.
Who decides in Muslim, they even decide where you go, hell or heaven, and all that stuff. So that is a major difference. And the logic doesn't exist. So, once they tell you that soul is not destroyable, then why is my soul merging into another God? No need for that. So the logic doesn't make sense.
No, I think they talk about the
And that is what
unlimited time. They talk about soul cannot be destroyed in the long period of time, as in within the time, beyond the time. Correct? Within the time, whatever that long period, that time they say not destroyable. They will not say it's not destroyable because pure Advaita, when unmanifest happen, all the souls merge. They will never remain soul. See, if the souls are undestructible, but
that
when
I didn't know. I mean, they merge into one soul. That is what I heard. But they don't become material, though. Is that what they say?
no, there is no difference. It's all consciousness. For them, material is also, that's what they say. There is a consciousness exists in the matter also. That's what, no, Hinduism, they talk about body,
That's
mind,
what I'm saying,
harmonization.
that it is
So,
misrepresented. Let's say you take Jainism, right? What does Jainism say? Prithvi Kai. What
no,
is Prithvi Kai?
Prithvi
It is G.
Kai, the soul
तो
in the
उसको
body of the
लेके
Prithvi.
उन्होंने बोल दिया कि वो भी सोल. That's what I'm saying. It got misinterpreted. Instead of Prithvi Kai, they started saying Prithvi भी सोल है. भगवान कण कण में है.
So
कण
who
कण
is
में तो
missing?
हम
Oh,
भी
the
बोल ही सकते हैं ना Jainism में.
Jain people
Everywhere
say
you
that?
go to plant,
कण
there is
कण कण
plant.
कण में तो हो ही नहीं सकता, कण कण तो
I'm
पुद्गल है ना.
Yeah,
This is my
exactly.
imagination.
But
And
अरे नहीं नहीं नहीं, पर पुद्गल is body of a soul. तो soul तो सब जगह है ही ना.
yeah,
पृथ्वी काय में है, अप काय में है, वायु काय में है, जल काय में है. But we understand the difference, that the matter is separate, the soul is separate. It's only encapsulated into the either the patthar or the plant or the water. बट उसको मिसरिप्रेजेंट करके बोल दिया गया कि सब जगह सोल्स हैं, विच इज ट्रू. इफ यू से भाई सब जगह सोल है, पृथ्वी में
that
भी
is
सोल है,
true.
प्लांट में भी है, पानी में भी है, दैट इज ट्रू.
नहीं, वो
Yet
एक्चुअली थोड़ा
there
सा
is
वो आप सही कह रहे हैं, वो
which they don't
कॉन्सेप्ट
get,
थोड़ा डिस्टॉर्टेड
and they
इसलिए है
put out this say
कि वो कह रहे हैं कि भगवान कण कण में है,
sorted हो
है
गया
ना.
है. Yeah,
और हमारे यहाँ
exactly.
मतलब भगवान का प्रकृति से कोई लेना देना नहीं, प्रकृति अपने नियमों के हिसाब से अलग चलती है. And the
Yes.
souls and supreme souls have nothing to do with it. They don't
Yep.
interfere. So that is
But
one key, another key difference, that there is
yeah,
no.
But it makes sense. हम भी बोलते हैं ना, हम क्या बोलेंगे कि soul सब जगह पर है, and every soul has the potential of becoming God. In that sense, भगवान कण कण में है.
not one Bhagwan.
Yeah, I think in Jainism there is, if you really
Yeah,
think of it, there is no concept of
obviously,
God.
they're all separate.
Yeah,
We are devoid of concept of God.
and those Bhagwans are all independent.
No,
They're,
because we don't have a supreme power.
yeah.
Exactly.
No, but
That is a major big difference, because
but in Hinduism, like if you take the Dvaita, there is
so
one consciousness that exists in everything, soul, non-soul, everything. That one exists everywhere in their Advaita. That's the main difference. That's what no they feel one with the body. That's what their meditations are like that. Okay, you go. I saw the space there. I was jumping, drowning there. I was coming up. So they will all their meditation talks about, because the consciousness is everywhere. So their concept, correct? That's what they say.
No, I think
Bhagwan.
what they're saying is
right.
that
They
again
say
the
you
physical
came out of
concept.
that one consciousness
Yes.
back.
I think what they're trying to say, that any energy is consciousness,
Yes.
something like that,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So like matter energy we know is
Yeah,
convertible.
it is manifested in different forms
Yeah.
of energy. They say one energy came into many, one in many, many in one, many becomes one. Like that, there the back and forth the cycle happens there for them.
Mhm. But energy in
And then
itself
when they
is not
say
conscious.
avatar, to for our principle, yeah, if you take avatar, you are not God. For us, God never comes back, so there is no chance of
Yeah,
avatar.
exactly. Yeah.
Only non-good God will have avatar. Like we have
And
avatar, we are going through the
that's
gatis.
another key difference, Prabhaji, because
So in
बाकी रिलीजन्स में गॉड अवतरित होते हैं, ऊपर से नीचे आते हैं.
yeah,
हमारे यहाँ नीचे से ऊपर जाते हैं.
And also funny thing
right.
is why God has to come down. If he has a omnipotent, why can't he just fix everything? Like Krishna came to take the adharma, and then he said like, oh, I finished all the
Exactly.
adharma. Now what happens? Kali Yuga, somebody again come back. So I think it looks all illogical. Even same thing with Christianity, same thing with Islam.
Yeah, see, that's what
No, I think
and to me,
those
the
stories are meant to be as mythology, and mythology is, I guess, I mean, a lot of experts say it's important for human existence, but that's how we sort of narrate those stories and understand our
no,
existence.
so,
But
so
it's
in
again a myth.
general,
It's a myth.
like Bharilji's book explains, so the stories came from different times, right? In literature or whatever, some system, stories in all religions are accepted to be either myths or real evidences, real things that happened. So when somebody writes a story to explain a point, they can take either an actual event or they can make up something, because their purpose is to explain a moral or explain a particular point. And that was allowed in literature or in whatever system of writing. Which means, so if this Ramayana and Mahabharata don't have to be, what do they call it, fiction. These are real events that happened. But they could also make fiction stories and present a principle, which we have in Jainism also. We have real stories and we may have some fiction also, but less of that, I think, in Jainism. It's mostly true stories, true happenings that they talk about when they relate.
I was listening to Sanjeev Kumar Godaji. I mean, on the Moksha Marg Prakashak. He's having a discourse 1 hour for each chapter. He's just briefly goes.
Yeah,
And
he has all, actually, he has So where he would spend hours on one chapter, and he has
Yeah.
done that for Samay Sar, Moksha, Marg, Prakashak, a lot
Yeah,
of
yeah,
them.
yeah,
Then
yeah.
he does 1 hour for each
Yeah,
chapter. That's
I mean, I was listening to like 9th chapter now. I think he was talking about Pratmana Yoga. He talks about some are real stories, some are not real, but they are not false because he gives explanation. Todramalji says that any story that helps you in your prayojan, in your achieving in your moksha marga, they are not false stories, even though those are made up stories.
false in terms of, when we say false, we are talking made up fiction versus true
Yeah,
versus
exactly. Yeah, yeah. So
that's
fictional stories, he say like that's okay as long as they promote the prayojan of individuals.
yes. So that's what I'm saying. They're accepted
Yeah.
in writings. Whenever you have stories in religions, it is
Yeah.
acceptable that you
Yeah.
can make up fiction, and as long as you're proving that point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
message is truthful, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
as
exactly. About the tattva, they promote tattva and make you understand.
and it's the same thing. Like for example, Ramayana or Mahabharata. The Jainism said the story Hinduism. What they are promoting versus what Jainism is promoting.
Yeah.
Jainism, all stories end in moksha. Hinduism, that's not the
Yeah,
case.
yeah. But I feel I really believed Jainism version of the Ramayana because how much politics involved there, how much greed involved, why the fighting started. It's so real actually. I mean, it is that see all the Vidyadharas, Ravanas and all, they have so achieved so many siddhis, but all the greed to take control and then fight each other. That's where even they in Hinduism, Rama is avatara, correct? Vishnu, they have to make it something special. But here in Jain Ramayana, it's all like normal people.
Right.
I mean,
Mhm. So in Jain also, they have, other than moksha, they have other teachings also as to how
yeah,
Sita took this, Ram sending him to jungle,
yeah,
how Ram took Dashrath's sending him to the jungle. And that is, for us in Jainism, we learned that. So let's say we believe in this Vastu, Jyotish Shastra, Kundali, whatever, right? You don't think those were available to Ram?
yeah,
He had the best of life. He had the,
yeah,
but because he had Samyak Darshan, when his father sent him to the jungle, how could he happily accept it? Wouldn't he think,
yeah,
oh, maybe the reason is this, my palace kitchen is in the wrong place? No. And who could be saved? So we learn from those stories that to the best of people, उसी भाव से वो मोक्ष जा रहे हैं और उनको भी इतनी मिजरीज. तो जो कर्म जब तक खत्म नहीं होते तब तक you can have miseries. But that did not stop them from keep going forward. Are actually the Ramayana that they have Ramanand Sagar की उसमें तो यही दिखाया कि राम मोक्ष चले गए. They call it back on time, assuming that is moksha in Hinduism, not sure. And in our this thing, if Ram would have killed Ravan, then he could not have gone to moksha in that life. So that's why the Lakshman is the one that kills Ravan.
I mean, in Jainism, Lakshman is the
So it's
Narayan.
a lot more logical. Right, exactly.
Rama is Balbhadra. So
Because
always Narayan kills his Prati Narayan. I mean, in Mahabharata, it's Krishna kills
right,
Kamsa.
and I think they also go. Mhm,
In
mhm.
Hinduism, there it is Krishna kills Kamsa, but in Ramayana,
They
Rama
also
kills.
go to Narak. I think, is Lakshman supposed to be in Narak like Krishna
Yeah, yeah,
right
yeah.
now?
No, no, he is actually he come out. He's in one
Right?
of the Swargas. He is Sita and him are like they are like devas. I mean, when Ravana becomes Tirthankara, they becomes Ganadhar in yeah. Ravana becomes Tirthankara. Sita and Lakshmana become their Ganadhar and follower later in Vidya
Right,
Kshetra somewhere.
right. And no, but Krishna ended up in Narak because of
Yes.
what?
Yeah.
Because
Now
he's
he's
also
in.
Narayan, right?
Yeah.
Narayan is. Yeah. So that is what they say कि कर्मों की इतनी विचित्रता है, so why be bothered? It is so temporary. अभी कहाँ इतने दुश्मन वो सीता और लक्ष्मण, and then immediately few lives later they are going to be Gandhar of Ravan. So we should not be surprised or astonished about anything.
Yeah. See, again, this Jainism, I mean, you have to be
Okay, so
I would say you have to be really, really brave. You have to be really, really determined. It's only possible if you understand this tattva possible properly, correct? Otherwise, you are minority filled
and
with so many.
properly understand, because see,
Yeah.
not only minority, देखो वो पुद्गलेश्वर, पुद्गल को भी ईश्वर बोलते हैं, उसकी भी एनर्जीज तो है ना,
Yeah.
right? And then moha is so strong, it's always there to pull you back, and then to try to stay that against that force is very difficult.
Yeah.
And that's why this study is required, so you are properly convinced in the true sense to yourself, not just superficial.
Yeah.
And with proper logic, with proper experimentation. Because that is another thing, that Jainism doesn't make you bhakt, it makes you Bhagwan.
Yeah.
It never says blindly follow what I'm saying.
I think, especially for people like us, I mean, we are so away from that environment. I mean, this like Paramagama or whatever total the trust has been doing, it is a real blessing, because we are not getting like munis or
Oh, yeah.
anything here, so we do not know it's even in Digambaras or Muni culture in if you're in India, they hardly have you will get time, you will not get time to really spend time there to understand, correct? So this is so enormous. It's been easy.
And it's not the Muni's fault. They have to do
Yeah, their
whatever the
sadhana.
public is there, right? So even
Yeah.
if they have the knowledge, they may not be able to part that with you
Yeah,
unless you go
and
in
also
person.
they'll be moving around, so you will not be following, leaving your work or whatever that. So
Right.
that way, Paramagamanas is so blessing actually.
Yeah. And it's very hard to find this knowledge. And of course, Kanji Swami did the big job of coming out of all that. In all the sects, the Munis were not able to give this knowledge.
Yeah.
Was their own limitations. You know, number one, they're wandering around. Number two, people are less interested, so they have to only talk very easy stuff. They cannot give the depth.
Many part of the, like in Karnataka, many people discourage you to touch Moksha Marga Prakashak. Anything coming from Todramalji, they say like don't read that. It will misguide you. You are not ready to read because they touch so many subjects, concepts. You'll be misguided and you will ultimately not follow. You become the lot of discouragement.
Todarmalji has put the essence of lot of the Param Agam Shastras
Yeah.
in this book, and in such an easy language.
Yes.
The best part of it, that it's so easy to understand. Any questions that comes to your mind, he's always all thought of it, and he puts that questions and answers it, which is this is like almost like book worth reading again and again. And even lot of the Pandits, most of their pravachans, they will always refer to Moksha Prakashak. And that is why they have covered all the chapters of this book except chapter 5 or something in over the semester. We'll be covering the whole book. So, okay. So let's read chapter 4. I think it's a relatively smaller, so our speed is pretty good. Exposition of false belief, knowledge and conduct. So मिथ्यात्व के क्या प्रॉब्लम्स हैं उसके बारे में बताएंगे ये लोग। इस भव के सब दुख निके कारण मिथ्या भाव, तिनकी सत्ता नाश करी, प्रगटे मोक्ष उपाय. So this chapter is going to talk about, by all means, remove your false belief. First, you dig and find out where I have false belief, because we may not know that I am under false belief. And then you try to remove it. तो चलो इसको थोड़ा स्टार्ट कर लेते हैं पढ़ना. अरुण जी, आपकी किताब खुली है?
Yes, my book is open.
Okay, so you can go on page 105 in the English.
The main cause of all miseries of this mundane existence are fallacious dispositions of belief, knowledge, and conduct. By uprooting their existence, the right means of attaining liberation gets manifested. The fundamental causes of all worldly miseries are perverse belief, perverse knowledge, and perverse conduct. Their characteristics are being elaborately described here. As a physician tells in detail the causes of disease and the patient does not take unsuitable diet, then he gets free from disease. Similarly, a detailed exposition of the cause of transmigration is given here, by knowing which, if the mundane beings do not indulge in perverse belief, etc., then they would get free from mundane existence. Hence, a detailed exposition of the perverse belief, etc., is being given here. The characteristics of perverse belief. This jiva is having bondage of karmic matter from times immemorial. The misbelief in tattvas, the reality, caused in him owing to the rise of darshan moha, faith deluding karma, is termed as mithya darshan. For the quality of thatness is the reality, tattva, that is the intrinsic nature of the substance, which is worth ascertaining, is termed as tattva, the reality. That which is not a tattva is atattva, non-reality. Therefore, that which is atattva is false. So the name of this falsity is perversity, mithya. And this is thus only having such ascertainment is called shraddha, belief.
And so understanding the tattvas, 7 or 9, whichever way, is why it is so critical. When you don't have that correct understanding and correct belief, that is the cause of your mithya, wrong belief.
Here, the shraddha, belief, is to be taken as darshan or faith. Although the literal meaning of word darshan is generally undifferentiated perception, yet with reference to the context here, the meaning of this verb should be known as to believe. Similar interpretation is given in Tattvat Sur's commentary, Sarvat Siddhi. Because general perception is neither the cause of transmigratory existence nor of liberation, rather, the belief alone is the cause of transmigration or liberation. Hence, in the context of the cause of transmigration liberation, the meaning of darshan should be known as belief only. Thus, the wrong form of perception, that is, belief, is to be understood as mithya darshan. Believing contrary to the nature of substance and not believing as it really is, fallacious determination, that is, misconception, is mithya darshan, perverse belief. Question. Without omniscience, perfect knowledge, all the substances are not comprehended rightly, and without having the right comprehension, the right belief does not evolve. How could then the wrong belief be abandoned? Answer. Knowing, not knowing, or wrong knowing of the substances depends on kshayoksham or uday of jnana varniya karma, and the ascertainment evolves only on knowing. How could ascertainment take place without knowing? This is true. But the same person knows incorrectly or correctly those objects with which he has got nothing to do and believes them exactly as he knows them, Even due to that, there is no harm or benefit to him. Because of this, he does not get the name of an insane or an ingenious person. And if he knows incorrectly the objects with which he is concerned and believes them accordingly, then he gets harmed. So he is called an insane person, and if he knows those objects correctly and believes accordingly, then he is benefited. So he is called wise person. Similarly, if Jiva knows incorrectly or correctly those things with which he is not concerned and believes them accordingly, then there is no harm or gain to him. Because of this, he does not get the title of misbeliever or true believer. But if he knows incorrectly the substances or elements with which he is concerned and believes them accordingly, then he is harmed. Therefore, he is called misbeliever. And if he knows them correctly and believes them accordingly, then he is benefited. Therefore, he is called true believer. Here, it should be known that in not knowing or
Okay, so
knowing
underline that
correctly,
last line. Oh, wait, Arunji. Okay. So
G.
here, this is an important thing here. Okay. So what I'm saying is knowing. Okay. So we know so many things. We know the news. We know different topics: physics, chemistry, biology, government, whatever. So there, where it doesn't concern you, whether you know it correctly or incorrectly, it really doesn't matter. But where it, even though they call it concerned, the last lines of this 106 page, but if he knows incorrectly the substances or elements with which he is concerned and believes. So this here, with which he is concerned, is supposed to be like, what is our main concern right now? The soul.
Yeah.
So knowledge of me, the soul, is what is my concern, and belief of that, whether it is wrong or right, does matter to me.
So basically, knowing
So same
incorrectly.
thing, Samyak Darshan has to do with the right. So Samyak Drishti does not necessarily need to have correct knowledge of all of chemistry or engineering. But if he knows himself, the soul, and believes in it, that is good enough.
Here it should be known that in not knowing or knowing correctly, incorrectly, the non-concerned or concerned substances, there happens a decrease or increase of one's knowledge. So this much is the loss or gain of the jiva, and its instrumental cause is the jnana varan karma. But due to holding false or right belief about the concerned essential substances, there happens some more harm or benefit to this jeev. So its instrumental cause is darshan moha karma. Question: since belief is according to the
So
knowledge,
basically,
yeah,
more is preventing you from knowing the true and be able to believe in the truth, correct tattvas, and the true nature of soul.
question: since belief is according to the knowledge,
And
yeah, sorry, you were saying something, Prabhat?
yeah, so I was saying that, and why do we think the study or swadhyaya is critical? And I've given you this example again and again that there are five ways you study. The original, the first is darshan, the perception labdhi, so that you understand things. Second is you have the ability, you have to be able to hear somebody and be able to understand it. So by the time you get to the fifth labdhi, you can reduce the mohaniya karma from 70 koda kodi to 1 koda kodi, and which is very helpful in then getting the correct understanding of tattvas and the soul. So this effort that we are making is very, very fruitful.
Since belief is according to the knowledge, hence belief appears to be related to jnana
Mhm.
varna karma, how could the specific instrumentality of darshan moha karma be established here? Answer. All five sense rational beings possess
Mhm.
the ksham, destruction comes subsidence of jnana varna karma, that is, manifestation of knowledge, necessary for effectuating belief of jiva, essential principles, purposeful tattvas. But the Dravilingi Muni, a passionless ascetic following complete conduct without right belief, studies even up to 11 angas out of the 12 angas of whole scripture, and the devas, gods of Gavaic heavens, possess clairvoyance knowledge, avadhi gyan, etc. In spite of possessing such a high degree of kshavsam of Gyanvan karma, they do not possess the right belief of Jeev, essential principles, whereas the Tiriyanchas, rational five sense animals, in spite of their having lesser degree of kshavsam of Gyanvan karma, may be found possessed with the right belief of Jiva, etc., essential principles. It is therefore understood that the belief does not evolve according to the kshavsam of Jnana only. Some other instrumental karma is there, and that is darshan moha, faith deluding karma. Owing to his rise, the jiva is found with false belief. Then he perversely believes the jiva, etc., essential tattvas. You want to explain this, Prabhaji, a little bit?
Mhm. Yeah. So this jeev has only one purpose, and it is that it should not be miserable but be happy. So no jiva has any other purpose, and non-occurrence of sorrow. So what they're saying is, what is the purpose of you reducing your mohonya karma? And for reducing the mohonya karma, so the question first it answered is that, okay, no, only Jnanavarniya is not responsible for this. The Darshnavarniya is. Now they are saying what is purposeful and what is not. What is in Hindi what they say prayojan bhoot.
Prayojan.
Prayojan bhoot tattva or aprayojan bhoot tattva. So prayojan bhoot is purposeful. So there is so much knowledge in this world, right? There is no end to knowledge. You could be reading fiction, you could be reading about geography, you could be reading history. But is that all prayojan bhoot? No. So you identify what is purposeful. So now how do you identify what is purposeful? That every jeev's purpose is to become happy. So now you find out what knowledge should you gain, which will make you work towards that ultimate happiness. So they're going with this logic that no jeev has any other purpose. Anything we do, whether we read a book, whether we go on vacation, we go for a job, everything is eventually linked to us being happy. And no non-occurrence of sorrow and occurrence of happiness. Obviously, one thinks that by earning a lot of money, they will be able to buy conveniences for the families, which they hope that will give happiness. So, because the absence of misery is nothing but happiness, and the accomplish of this purpose takes place by acquiring right belief of Jiva. Tattvas correctly is important. So,
So, what
just knowledge alone is not enough. Knowledge of purposeful tattvas is what is needed.
Prabhaji, they're talking about the fact that some of the five sensed animals may actually have the right belief, whereas
Mhm.
some of the Travelingi Munis may not. And that is a little bit hard to understand.
Yeah. Why? Because they may have the knowledge. So even the pandits, let's say you have a pandit who is very learned. He may have memorized all the Karnanu Yoga, everything, right? He has the knowledge. तो ज्ञानावर्णीय का उदय कम है कि उन्हें इन्होंने इतना सारा नॉलेज ले लिया, बट द दर्शन मोह इज स्टिल देयर. So even though they are able to teach, they are able to convince other people, they themselves don't have not been able to get the belief. Whereas, let's say a cow or a dog, they are Sangni Panchendri Jeev, right? They cannot read, write, they cannot get the knowledge. But if they remember their past, somehow initially they have to have this knowledge, what is soul. They can go back to that memory and be able to get the Samyak Darshan. So they're proving that knowledge alone doesn't do any good. Because knowledge, a Pandit can have a lot of knowledge and he can have a very good style of teaching, expressing whatever he knows. But that does not guarantee Samyak Darshan.
Purposeful and purposeless substances, principles. Question. Which are the purposeful and purposeless substances? Answer. This jiva only has one purpose and it is.
Did you not read this before?
No, I read the previous one, previous question and answer.
Is that right? Okay, never mind. I explained, I was explaining that paragraph because I thought you just read it. Okay, never mind. That's okay.
Yeah, it felt that way when you were explaining. That's why Arunji explained that why is the Dravyalingi Muni, right, said to have not possessed the right belief of G. Because
Right.
he read that particular question answer.
Wait a minute. Where did you read? Why am I getting confused
Just
here?
above the
Arunji, what page are
purposeful
you
and
on?
purposeless
All 5 cents.
Yeah, that one.
Ah, okay. Got it. There also the purposeful tattvas come. The when he read, I heard that one, and I
Correct.
thought you were down in that paragraph. That's okay. Never mind. So I'm clear on why they're talking about a belief in the purposeful tattvas is the main thing. So Lingi Muni could be following all the rituals, all the things, but he doesn't have the correct belief or doesn't understand the tattvas properly. So you know how we went through in Vitrag Vigyan, the तत्व संबंधी भूल, तो वो कहीं ना कहीं छुपी हुई रह जाती है, इसलिए सम्यक दर्शन नहीं हो पाता.
Really, I'll read the next one.
Yeah, I think now I explained all this. Okay.
Which are the purposeful and purposeless substances? Answer. This jiva has only one purpose, and it is that he should not be miserable but be happy. No jiva has any other purpose, and non occurrence of sorrow and occurrence of happiness is one and the same thing, because absence of misery is nothing but happiness. And the accomplishment of this purpose takes place by acquiring right belief of jiva, etc. tattvas, realities. Question. How does it happen? Answer. First of all, for eradicating miseries, one must possess the discriminating knowledge of the self and non self. If one does not have discriminating knowledge of self and non self, how can he eradicate his misery without identifying the self? Or knowing the self and non self as to be the one thing, if for rooting out the sorrow of the self, one does the treatment of the other non self thing. How can then the sorrow of the self be rooted out? Or the non-self thing are distinctly different from the self, but if one holds the feeling of I-ness and mindness in those non-self things, then misery alone results. Misery gets eradicated only on attaining the discriminative knowledge of self and non-self. And the knowledge of the self and non-self is attained only after having got discriminative knowledge of Jeev and Ajeev substances. Because the one himself is soul and the body, etc., are Ajeev non-soul. If through distinctive characteristics, etc., the Jeev Ajeev are identified, then the separatedness of self and non-self may be comprehended. Hence, one ought to know Jeev Ajeev. or on acquiring the knowledge of Jeev Ajeev, the substances by contrary belief of which one used to suffer from misery, now by attaining the right knowledge of the same, misery gets eradicated. Hence, acquiring knowledge of Jeev Ajeev is a must. Further, the cause of sorrow is bondage of karmic matter, and its causes are false belief, that is, influx. Uh, if one does not identify these, doesn't know these as to be the root cause of sorrow, how can then he uproot them? And if one does not eradicate these instincts, how would not then the karmic bondage take place? Therefore, misery alone is caused.
So,
Or,
and why we studied in the last chapter the uday in what type of misery you get in what kind of karm ke uday. So when you now you have the knowledge, so at least now you know what you need to eradicate, what you need to work on. If you don't even have that knowledge, what will you work on? Is what they're talking about here. And one other point I thought about in this uh, the principle of Jnanavarniya karma and Shaupsham. So they talked about the Nove Grevak. That is like a very high up heaven, which is what people get when they do lot of penance. So even if they are Dravyalingi Muni and they have done lot of tap, so all that can take you to the very high heaven, yet it does not give you Samyak Darshan. So that was another point of when, because they mentioned that नवे ग्रह वाला स्वर्ग में तक पहुंच जाते हैं. So and same thing, this I-ness and oneness, that is what is missing in the Dravyalingi Muni. Even though he has left the worldly life, he's following the ascetic life, yet whatever he little bit he has, he may have attachment towards it. I think I've told you that story one time about this Muni who goes to the king for a bhiksha, and he's coming out, and the king is walking the Muni out, and perchance he turns and he sees that he, oh my God, 1 second. Where am I getting this? Oops. Okay. So the Muni is going on a walk with the king. He left his peachy and kamandal in the mahal. Uh, is my picture also frozen for you guys?
No,
No.
there is a little
Okay,
bit.
you can hear me okay, right?
Yeah, there is a little
Some
bit
of
lag,
you
but
look,
that's well.
there's a little.
But that's okay. It's been
Right,
like
okay.
that. Yeah.
So the story goes that, so hopefully it catches up. It is continuous after the lag though. Okay. So what happens is that the Muni is walking with the king. He turns around and sees that the palace is burning. So he tells the king, he brings it to his attention that your palace is burning. So the king turns around, sees the palace burning, and still continues to walk, and still continues to talk to the Muni about whatever he wanted to learn about. So the Muni goes, he's kind of surprised. Why is the king not bothered with his palace is burning? So he keeps walking. Maybe then he thinks, maybe he didn't hear me. Again reminds, oh, your palace is burning. The king again doesn't get disturbed, keeps walking, keeps walking. Third time again he says, but your palace is burning. The king says, I see that, but like there are people in the palace who will take care of whatever needs to be done to put out the fire and whatever, and continues to walk. And that's when now the Muni cannot hold it. He says, but my Pichi and Kamandal is in the palace. So he doesn't have much, but whatever little he has, he's attached to it. And the king, everything he has is getting burnt, yet he's not bothered.
Yeah, yeah.
So that is what they are talking about. That it's all about the I-ness and oneness with one. So even in the Tiryanch Gati, that is why you are able to have Samyak Darshan. Because you are able to differentiate and leave the oneness with the body, and you can attain Samyak Darshan. Whereas in spite of following all that's what some of the Shastras say, that you could have a mountain of Pichi and Kamandal, or in the Shwetambar Shastra they say whatever the Oga and whatever they use. And still it may not be any fruitful to you. So more than important than taking Muni Diksha is to attain Samyak Darshan.
Therefore,
But yet,
Mistry, go ahead, go ahead.
so yet in Moksha Prakashak itself we will read that it is acceptable if somebody takes Dravyalingi Diksha first and then gets Samyak Darshan. So if you don't know whether this person has Samyak Darshan or not, you are supposed to bow down to the Dravyalingi Muni also. And there's a reason for it. See, some people, they may not have, technically you shouldn't take Diksha until you have Samyak Darshan. Some people may want to leave the worldly life, so then they feel they can speed up their Samyak Darshan. Because now they have nothing else. They don't have the worries, they don't have the responsibilities of the worldly life. So then they can focus only on their soul. So in those situations, then it's still okay. They took the Dravyalingi Diksha and then they got the Samyak Darshan. So since we are close to time, let's just read one more paragraph and we'll call it a day. Go ahead.
Therefore, misery alone is caused, or the false belief, etc., instincts are misery incarnate. If those are not identified correctly as they really are, then one cannot eradicate them, and consequently, one would remain miserable only. Hence, one must know ashram in flux. Further, the cause of all misery is karmic bondage. If one does not know this, then one would not make efforts to get rid of it.
Mhm.
Then, due to its instrumentality, one would remain miserable. Therefore, one must know bandh, bondage.
Mhm.
And
So
uprooting
that's
of
why
ashram
each of the tattvas need to be known properly.
and uprooting of ashram is samvar, stoppage. If one does not know its differentia, then one would not indulge in it. Then influx would only would continue, due to which misery alone would be caused both in present and in future. Therefore, one must know samvar, stoppage.
Mhm.
Further, somewhat partial eradication of karmic bondage is termed as nirjara, partial shedding off. If
Mhm.
one does not know it, then he would not make effort to follow it. Consequently, the karmic bondage would persist wholly, due to which misery alone would continue. Hence, one must know nirjara, partial shedding of impurity.
Mhm.
And the absolute uprooting of all sorts of karmic bondage is termed as moksha. If one does not identify it, one would not make efforts for evolving it, and then he will continue suffering from the agonies of the world produced by karmic bondage. Hence, one must know moksha, liberation. Thus, one should know jeev, ajeev, etc., seven tattvas, realities.
Okay, we'll stop here for today. Okay. So there they explained why each of the tattvas has to be understood in detail. So we don't make a mistake when we go through life. We can categorize what we are experiencing. And even if we keep talking about, remember, Charitra Moni goes late. So even if you're not able to follow, if you can get the correct belief, that is most important. And then the Charitra follows. So, okay, very good. So, Arunji, you
What
also,
is the page number in the book for the next?
109.
the book is 109.
109. And we were right, Moksha, we just completed Moksha.
Just finish,
Yeah.
Moksha Tattva, and then we'll start with the next paragraph after that.
On the PDF, we are number 67, right? No.
68, I
Yeah,
think.
so whoever, somebody can put it in the message and the group
Okay,
there.
thank you.
So that. Okay, great. सहजानंदी शुद्ध स्वरूपी अविनाशी हूँ आत्म स्वरूप सहजानंदी शुद्ध स्वरूपी अविनाशी हूँ आत्म स्वरूप सहजानंदी शुद्ध स्वरूपी अविनाशी हूँ आत्म स्वरूप निज निधि निज में बताई यह अनंत उपकार है इसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना शत बार है वंदना शत बार है। जय जिनेन्द्र।
Jayendra.